Building confidence isn't like flipping a switch. You can't just wake up one day and boom, you're confident. Nope. It's more like building a Lego castle. You place one brick at a time, one step at a time, one experience at a time. Confidence is something you earn. It grows from being disciplined, showing up every day, and learning to believe in yourself. Here's the big secret. Confidence doesn't come from other people. It doesn't come from someone saying, "Hey, you're amazing," or from winning a bunch of trophies. Sure, those things feel great, but real confidence, that comes from deep inside you. It's that strong, steady voice in your heart that says, no matter what happens, I can handle this. And guess what? Life is going to test you. It's going to poke you, shake you, and ask, are you sure you can do this? Are you strong enough? In those moments, your confidence will either stand up tall like a superhero or crumble like a sandcastle in the rain. Now, over many years of watching how people grow, improve, and build amazing lives and businesses, one thing has become crystal clear. Confidence is the secret ingredient to success, not just in business, but in everything. We're not talking about the shaky kind of confidence that disappears when someone says something mean or when things go wrong. We're talking about the kind of confidence that stands like a mountain, strong, steady, and unbreakable no matter what storm comes your way. So how do we build that kind of confidence? Well, buckle up, because we're about to explore 5 powerful rules that have been tested, proven, and lived by some of the most successful people in the world. These aren't just theories, they come from real experience, real mentors, and real results. The best part? Building this kind of confidence is both an art and a science. There are actual steps you can take, real actions that will build the kind of confidence that doesn't crack when things get hard. Instead, it gets stronger with every challenge. Let's dive in. 1. Master the small disciplines. The very first rule for building long-lasting confidence is this: master the small disciplines. Now, what does that actually mean? Let's break it down in the simplest way possible. Confidence doesn't grow from doing something huge and impressive once in a while. Nope, it grows from doing the little things, every single day, consistently, until they become as natural as breathing. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't brush them once and expect your teeth to stay clean forever, right? You do it every day, morning and night. Small habit, huge difference over time. Here's where most people go wrong. They overlook the small stuff. They think, oh, it's just one little thing. It doesn't matter if I skip it today. But here's what happens when you start skipping the little things. You slowly weaken your own foundation. Imagine a building where someone quietly removes one tiny brick every day. At first you might not notice, but over time, that building starts to wobble. And then it falls. The same thing happens with confidence. Every time you make a promise to yourself, even a tiny one, and you don't keep it, you're secretly telling yourself, I can't be trusted. And if you can't trust yourself, how can you feel truly confident? Confidence is built on trust, not just trust from others, but trust in yourself. It's knowing deep down that when you say you're going to do something, you'll actually do it. Even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when your bed feels extra cozy and your alarm goes off. Here's the beautiful thing about this. Every time you follow through on even a small promise to yourself, you're sending yourself a powerful message. I am someone who does what they say. And the more you send that message, the more you believe it, day by day, brick by brick. You're building a fortress of self-trust that no bad day, no harsh word, and no setback can tear down. Now, quick reality check. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Nobody is. You're going to have days where you slip up, miss a workout, skip a habit, or fall short of your own goals. That's totally okay. That's part of being human. The key is this: when you slip up, don't just lie there in the mud feeling sorry for yourself. Get back up as fast as you can. Don't let one missed day turn into a missed week. Don't let a missed week turn into a missed month. The faster you bounce back, the less damage gets done to your confidence. So here's a really important question. How often do you keep the promises you make to yourself? Not the big ones like, I'm going to become a millionaire, or I'm going to climb a mountain someday, but the small ones. Do you wake up when you said you would? Do you follow through on your daily habits? Do you do the things you plan to do? Because if you're not, that's exactly where you need to start. Confidence isn't about giant leaps every day. It's about consistent, small steps in the right direction. The big dreams you have? They're made up of thousands of tiny details. If you ignore the tiny details, the big dream starts to fall apart. But if you master those tiny details, watch out world, So here's your challenge. Make a small promise to yourself today. Something simple and totally doable. Then keep it. Do it again tomorrow and the day after. Every small discipline you master is like dropping a coin into your confidence piggy bank. At first it might seem like nothing, but keep dropping those coins in every single day, and one day you'll look back and realize you've built a tomb of confidence. And that kind of confidence, the kind built slowly, steadily, with discipline, is the kind that lasts a lifetime. 1. Master the small disciplines. Because if you can trust yourself with the small things, you'll absolutely be able to trust yourself with the big things when they come. Face your fears. Don't avoid them. Let's talk about fear for a second. Fear is like that sneaky monster under your bed. The longer you pretend it's not there and pull your blanket over your head, the bigger and scarier it seems. But the moment you reach under that bed and look, you realize it was never as terrifying as you thought. Fear is one of the biggest confidence destroyers in the world. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how many skills you have, or how many good things you've done. If fear is lurking in the background, it will always find a way to chip away at your confidence like a tiny hammer tapping on a wall, bit by bit, day by day. But here's the really important thing to understand about fear. The more you avoid it, the stronger it gets. The more you run from it, the more space it takes up in your mind. It starts to control your choices, your actions, your whole life. But when you turn around and look fear directly in the eye, you take back your power. You take back control. Here's the truth that might surprise you. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Brave people aren't people who have zero fear. They're people who feel the fear and still take action. That's the real definition of courage. And every single time you step into the ring with your fear, every time you say, "I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway," you come out the other side a little braver, a little stronger, and a lot more confident. Now, nobody's saying you need to jump straight to your biggest, most terrifying fear on day one. That would be like asking someone who just learned to swim to immediately jump into the deep ocean. Start small. The goal is just to get into the habit of facing fears instead of running from them. Here's the thing. Fear never completely disappears. It's always there, waiting for its moment to creep back in. But the more times you face it, the less power it holds over you. It's like a bully who keeps picking on you. The first time, it's terrifying. But after you stand up to that bully over and over again, eventually they lose their power. They're not so scary anymore. So ask yourself, what are you afraid of right now? What's the one thing you've been putting off, avoiding, or running away from because it makes you uncomfortable? Maybe it's having a tough conversation. Maybe it's trying something new where you might fail. Maybe it's going for a goal that feels too big and too risky. Whatever it is, take one step toward it today. Not a giant leap, just a step. Because every single step you take toward your fear is a step toward unshakable confidence. Here's a mind-blowing idea. Fear is actually an illusion. It feels so real in the moment, but when you push through it, you discover it was mostly just a story your brain was telling you. A big, dramatic story with scary music and flashing lights. But once you bust through that illusion, you're free. Free to take risks, free to fail, free to try, free to succeed. And that freedom, that is the heart of real confidence. Too many people have every tool they need to live an incredible life, but fear keeps them frozen in place like a statue. Don't let that be you. Don't let fear steal the amazing life that's waiting for you on the other side of that discomfort. Here's one more powerful truth. The thing you fear the most is usually the thing that will help you grow the most. It's not a coincidence. Fear is like a signpost pointing directly at the areas of your life that need attention and growth. So next time fear pops up, instead of thinking, "Oh no, danger," try thinking, "Interesting, what can I learn here? How can I grow?" Then take action. Because confidence doesn't grow in the cozy comfort zone. It grows out there, in the fire, in the challenge, in the moments when you were scared but you did it anyway. Never stop learning. Invest in yourself. Rule number 3 is one that will seriously level up your life. Invest in self-education. Never stop learning. Here's the deal, knowledge is powerful, but it's not just any knowledge that builds confidence. It's the knowledge that's connected to your goals, your dreams, and the challenges you're facing. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more confident you become in your ability to tackle problems, create opportunities, and navigate through life's twists and turns. Think about it this way. Ever feel unsure of yourself in a situation? like you don't really know what you're doing. That feeling of "I'm not sure I can handle this" is very often simply a sign that you don't yet have the tools or knowledge you need. And the solution? Go get them! Here's a quote that might just change how you see education forever. Formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Wow. Let that sink in. School is great. It gives you a foundation. But the learning that truly transforms your life and builds real confidence, that happens outside the classroom, in books, in experiences, through mentors, through trying things and figuring them out. Nobody starts out knowing everything. Not a single successful person on this planet was born with all the answers. What set them apart was their hunger to keep learning. When getting started in something new and overwhelming, not knowing how to sell, how to lead, how to build strong relationships, the answer is always the same. Don't let that be a reason to stop. Start reading books, go to seminars, find mentors, soak up knowledge like a sponge, and watch what happens. Every new thing you learn adds a little more confidence to your step. One of the wisest pieces of advice ever shared goes something like this: you've got to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. At first that might sound weird. Isn't working hard at your job enough? But think deeper. Your job can pay your bills, but you, the person you're becoming, the skills you're developing, the mindset you're building, that is what creates a truly extraordinary life. And the way you become more valuable, more capable, and more confident is through constantly investing in yourself. Now, self-education doesn't have to mean going back to school. It can be as simple as picking up a good book. In fact, start your own personal library. Fill it with books that inspire you, challenge you, and teach you something new. Read biographies of amazing people who've done incredible things in areas you want to grow in. Explore psychology, leadership, health, business, creativity, whatever lights you up and pushes you forward. And here's the best part. You don't need to read 100 books a year. Just start with one. Because one truly great book can completely shift your perspective, open your eyes to new possibilities, and instantly boost your confidence. For example, a classic like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill has helped millions of people understand the mindset behind success, not because it tells you anything you don't already sense deep down, but because it gives you the language and the framework to truly understand it. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, everything becomes clearer. And this is super important, learning is only half of it. The real magic happens when you take what you learn and actually use it. Don't just fill your head with great ideas and then go about your day unchanged. Apply the knowledge. If you're learning about leadership, start leading. If you're studying sales, start selling. If you're learning about healthy habits, start living them. It's in the doing that real confidence is forged. Because when you see actual results from combining knowledge with action, your belief in yourself absolutely skyrockets. And here's the most exciting part of all. Self-education never stops. There will never be a moment where you know everything there is to know. And that's amazing. Not scary, because it means you can keep growing, keep improving, keep becoming a better version of yourself for the rest of your life. Every new thing you learn is another tool in your confidence toolbox. Every new skill is another brick in your unshakable foundation. The world is always changing. New challenges, new technologies, new situations. The more you stay curious and keep learning, the more confident you'll become in your ability to adapt and handle whatever shows up. So here's your challenge. When did you last invest in your own education? Not a certificate or a degree, but something genuinely new that could help you grow as a person, a thinker, a creator. If it's been a while, pick up a book today. Watch an educational talk. Reach out to someone who knows more than you. Take one small step toward learning something valuable, because knowledge breeds confidence. When you know more, you can do more. When you can do more, you feel more capable, more prepared, more unstoppable. That investment in your mind will pay dividends not just in success and opportunity, but in the deep, rock-solid confidence that comes from knowing you're always growing, always improving, always learning. Surround yourself with the right people. Here comes rule number 4, and this one is a game changer. Surround yourself with the right people. Who you spend your time with has an enormous impact on your confidence, like Ian or Morse. This isn't just a nice idea, it's a real proven truth. The people around you are either lifting you up toward your potential or quietly pulling you down away from it. There's really no middle ground, so the question is, who's in your circle right now? Because if you're surrounded by people who constantly put you down, mock your dreams, or make you feel small, your confidence is going to suffer. Guaranteed. On the flip side, If you're surrounded by people who believe in you, push you to be better, and cheer you on when you go after bold goals, that energy becomes contagious. You start believing in yourself more because you have people in your corner who already believe in you. Here's something really important to understand. Confidence is contagious, and so is doubt. Think about that. If you're around people who are always complaining, always focusing on what's wrong, always seeing the worst in every situation, that negativity will slowly seep into your thinking. You might not even notice it happening, but little by little, you'll start doubting yourself, second-guessing your abilities, and shrinking your dreams, all because of the energy you're absorbing from those around you. It's like plants and sunlight. Put a plant in a room with great light, fresh air, and good soil. It flourishes. Put that same plant in a dark, stuffy corner. It starts to wilt. You are that plant, and the people around you are either your sunlight or your darkness. Think hard about the people closest to you right now. Do they inspire you? Do they challenge you to grow? Do they celebrate your wins and help you learn from your failures? Or do they make you question yourself, laugh at your dreams, or drag you back into comfort and mediocrity? These are genuinely tough questions, but they're necessary ones. Now, let's be clear about something. This doesn't mean you need to cut off everyone who isn't as driven or ambitious as you are. It's not about judging people or tossing friendships aside. It's about being mindful of how much time and energy you're giving to relationships that drain you, and being intentional about seeking out relationships with people who inspire, challenge, and support your growth. Because here's something often overlooked. Success and confidence are team sports. No one, absolutely no one, builds something great completely alone. Everyone needs a support system. People who push you forward when you slow down. People who pick you back up when you fall. People who remind you of your potential when you start to forget it. That's why one of the best investments you can make in your own confidence is in your relationships. Find mentors who have already walked the road you want to travel. Build friendships with people who have big, bold dreams and aren't afraid to chase them. Join communities of people who are committed to growth, because when you're consistently around people like that, you literally cannot help but level up. Their energy lifts yours. Their courage fuels yours. Their belief in themselves strengthens your belief in yourself. And it's not just about who you're around, it's about the quality of those connections. Are your conversations meaningful, energizing, and inspiring? Or are they shallow, draining, and stuck in negativity? Deep, genuine, uplifting relationships do more for your confidence than almost anything else. Here's a beautiful truth. Confidence is built in community. When you're part of a group of people who share your values, your hunger for growth, and your commitment to becoming better, something magical happens. You become stronger together. Their confidence amplifies yours. Your confidence amplifies theirs. It becomes a positive, powerful cycle that keeps everyone rising higher. So take a real, honest look at your relationships. Are you surrounded by people who see your potential and push you toward it? If not, it's time to make some intentional changes. Start seeking out new communities, new mentors, new friendships where growth and confidence are the standard, not the exception. See failure as your greatest teacher. And now, the final rule. This one might just be the most important of all. Rule number 5, understand that failure is part of the process, not the end of it. Now I know what you might be thinking. Failure? How does failing build confidence? Stick with me here because this is where so many people get it completely wrong. Most people think confidence comes from always winning, from getting things right, from never stumbling, from a long streak of success. But that's not how it works. Real, lasting confidence isn't built from avoiding failure. It's built from understanding that failure is a necessary, unavoidable, and actually valuable part of the journey. Think about learning to ride a bike. Nobody, literally nobody, gets on a bike for the very first time and rides perfectly. What actually happened? You wobble. You fall. You scrape your knees. You probably fall again. But does anyone say, well, I fell, so I guess bike riding just isn't for me? Of course not. You get back on, a little wiser now, a little more aware of your balance, and eventually, after enough practice and enough tumbles, you're riding with a giant smile on your face, totally confident. The same exact process applies to life. Here's a perspective shift that can genuinely change everything. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the same path. Every single person who has ever accomplished anything great has failed. Many, many, many times. The difference between people who build lasting confidence and those who don't isn't whether they fail, it's how they respond when they do. Think of failure as feedback. It's not a verdict. It's not a judgment of your worth. It's simply information, data telling you where to adjust, where to improve, where to try a different approach. Every failure is basically life handing you a report card saying, here's what to work on next. And when you start seeing it that way, it stops being terrifying and starts becoming incredibly useful. There's a beautiful saying that captures this perfectly. Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Read that again, because it means the path to success is literally paved with failures. The people who win aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who keep going, keep learning, keep believing, even after falling flat on their face. That attitude, that's where confidence comes from. Here's a powerful question. What have you failed at recently? And more importantly, how did you respond? Did you let it knock you down for weeks, making you doubt everything? Or did you pick yourself up, ask, what can I learn from this, and keep moving forward? Because that choice, how you respond to failure, is one of the single biggest factors in determining your confidence level. Think about all the things you've been holding yourself back from because you're afraid to fail. Maybe you didn't apply for a dream opportunity because you didn't think you'd get it. Maybe you haven't started a new project because you're scared it won't work out. Maybe you haven't gone after something you truly want because what if you fall short? But here's the heartbreaking truth. By avoiding failure, you're also avoiding success. You're playing it safe, staying small, and keeping yourself stuck in a comfort zone that isn't as comfortable as it looks. Getting comfortable with failure doesn't mean going out and purposely making bad decisions. It means that when failure shows up, and it will, you don't fall apart. You don't give up. You don't decide you're not good enough. Instead, you extract the lesson, make your adjustments, and keep moving forward. Every single time you do that, you build something priceless, resilience. And resilience is one of the core building blocks of lasting confidence. Because here's what resilience says. I've been knocked down before. I got back up, and I'll do it again. That internal knowing, that deep certainty that you can handle setbacks and keep going, is one of the most powerful confidence boosters in existence. So stop fearing failure. Start embracing it. See it as a badge of honor that says, I tried, I dared, I showed up. Because the only people who never fail are the ones who never try anything. And that's no way to build confidence or live life. The only true failure is giving up. As long as you're learning and moving forward, you are on the path to success. And with every step, your confidence grows stronger. Now, here's what's really important to understand. Building confidence is not a one-time thing. It's not a destination you reach and then park at forever. It's a lifelong journey, a journey that requires consistent attention, steady growth, and daily discipline. But the incredible news is this: by practicing these 5 rules, you're building a foundation so strong that no storm, no failure, no harsh word, and no setback can knock it down. Confidence isn't about never failing. It's not about never feeling scared. It's not about being perfect. It's about knowing you can rely on yourself. It's about having the tools, the mindset, and the support to handle whatever life decides to throw your way. So take these 5 rules and start applying them today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because every single step you take in the direction of growth, no matter how small it might seem, is a step toward the confident, capable, unstoppable person you are becoming. Trust yourself. Stay disciplined. Keep learning. Choose your circle wisely. And when you fall, because you will, get back up, dust yourself off, extract the lesson, and keep walking forward. The more you do that, the more your confidence will grow. The more your confidence grows, the more you'll be able to create the extraordinary life you deserve.